Moldavite can be overwhelming. Some metaphysical practitioners actually choose not to work with it because they believe Moldavite carries residual extraterrestrial frequencies that cannot be cleared or transmuted. For some, that's too much. For others, that's exactly the draw. Moldavite represents the vast unknown, holding wisdom and answers to questions humanity has been asking for thousands of years.
Welcome to the Crystal Library, a pocket-sized portal into the magical, mysterious, and sometimes misunderstood world of crystals. I'm your host, Ashleigh, and each week I'll guide you as we explore one enchanting stone, its history, lore, healing properties, and one easy way to invite its magic into your everyday life. Whether you're crystal curious or deep into the woo, this is your space to learn, explore, and expand your connection to the mineral realm, one glittering gem at a time. So let's open the library and see which crystal wants to speak today.
Welcome back to the Crystal Library, my spooky kooky corner of the podcast world, where we dive into crystals, magic, and the mysteries of the unseen. Today's episode is all about one of the most infamous and controversial stones in the entire crystal world. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess? Moldavite. Some people say it's life-changing. Some say it's dangerous. Others swear it's just green glass being sold at insane prices. But here's the truth. Moldavite is unlike any other stone. It's born from a cosmic collision wrapped in ancient myth and carries a reputation that's equal parts mystical and terrifying. It's also a stone that feels especially powerful in this season of the witch, when the veil is thinning and transformation is knocking at the door. So let's talk about what Moldavite is, why it's so expensive, the magic it carries, and the shadow spooky side that makes it such a powerful ally or adversary, depending on who you ask. So I'll be honest, I don't own any Moldavite. To me, I personally have never connected with it. It's always been very expensive. I've never really, I've seen it a few times at different places. I was at a recent shop up in Salem and I saw they had this piece and it was like $600 and some for a small, tiny piece. And I was like, I'm sure theirs was legitimate because they're a very, very legitimate store. But I was just like, wow, that stone better be freaking life-changing for $600 for a tiny little piece. But I was thinking about what stone I wanted to do for this week's episode. And I was like, man, the one that I had originally chosen, I was like, I just don't feel like it's the right one. And then I was sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, I should do Moldavite. Of course. And I was also like, you know what? I don't know much about Moldavite. So let me do some research and then I will learn and then I will share that with you, because I feel like Moldavite has this whole energy about it, and I don't know that it's necessarily as scary as some believe it to be, especially not from my research. What is Moldavite? First and foremost, Moldavite is technically not a crystal. It's a tektite, a natural glass formed about 15 million years ago when a massive meteorite slammed into what is now the Bohemian Plateau in the Czech Republic. The force of the impact fused extraterrestrial matter with the Earth itself, creating this deep green etched glassy stone. On the Mohs hardness scale, Moldavite sits between 5 and 6, so it's not particularly hard and can scratch or chip easily. It's an amorphous crystal system, meaning it has no internal crystal lattice. It's literally chaos in form, which makes sense given how it was created. Oh my gosh, I feel like my life is Moldavite, you guys. Well, you know what? The question is, should I get some or should I not? Because my life is already chaos. Maybe it'll just make things worse. Maybe I'll just stay away from it. This otherworldly origin is why Moldavite is sometimes called the stone from the stars. And when you hold it in your hand, you're not just holding a stone, you're holding the aftermath of a cosmic event that forever changed the earth. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? For a big science nerd like myself, I think that's really cool. Moldavite has been used by humans for thousands of years. In the Paleolithic era, people carved it into amulets and tools. It's been considered a powerful protective talisman since ancient times and was even a symbol of lasting love traditionally given to brides to ensure harmony in marriage. In myth, Moldavite has some heavy associations. One legend claims it was the emerald from Lucifer's crown that fell to earth when he was cast out of heaven. Another says Moldavite was the very crystal that adorned the Holy Grail cup, carrying divine power and enlightenment. In Czech folklore, Moldavite was often given as a betrothal gift, symbolizing fertility, luck, and abundance. And even today, Moldavite is considered an amulet of good fortune and wish fulfillment. And here's a fun fact from Athena Parakas's book, Crystalpedia. The largest intact piece of Moldavite ever found weighs 238 grams and is housed in the Moldavite Museum in Český Krumlov, Czech Republic. Sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong. Imagine the energy that massive piece must have. Wow. Oh my gosh. Also, side note, sidebar, Czech Republic, definitely someplace I want to visit. Have you been there? Have you seen this giant piece of Moldavite? If you have, please share with me all the details. All right, let's get into its metaphysical and magical properties. Moldavite is associated with the heart, third eye, and crown chakras. Its chief mechanism is rapid transformation. People often describe Moldavite as a spiritual accelerator. It doesn't gently nudge you forward. It picks you up and throws you into the deep end of your spiritual path. Some of the spiritual skills Moldavite is said to activate include channeling, clairvoyance, manifestation, astral travel, and deep meditation. It's known to amplify intuition and connect you with your spirit guides, ascended masters, and even what some call star soul connections, especially with the Sirius star system and the Pleiades. Some report receiving visions, lucid dreams, or other worldly downloads after working with Moldavite. Because of this, Moldavite can be overwhelming. Some metaphysical practitioners actually choose not to work with it because they believe Moldavite carries residual extraterrestrial frequencies that cannot be cleared or transmuted. For some, that's too much. For others, that's exactly the draw. Moldavite represents the vast unknown, holding wisdom and answers to questions humanity has been asking for thousands of years. Astrologically, Moldavite corresponds to Scorpio and Aquarius. Scorpio for its intensity, transformation, and connection with the shadow. Aquarius for its otherworldly, starborn, cosmic nature. During spooky season, when we lean into transformation, shadow work, and contacting the unseen, Moldavite is like a catalyst. It's the meteor strike that can shatter old patterns and make room for something entirely new. Physical and emotional properties. Let's ground this a little and talk about the physical and emotional side of Moldavite. Physically, Moldavite is said to slow degeneration and stimulate regeneration of the mind and body, promote fertility and counter hair loss. Not sure how that works. It supports the eyes and respiratory system, but it can also make you feel disoriented or spacey if you're not grounded. Emotionally, Moldavite rapidly brings the chakras into harmony after trauma. It's said to reduce cravings, especially for cigarettes, and help with emotional breakthroughs. In the home, Moldavite is believed to prevent loneliness, a great stone for people living alone. At work, it brings satisfaction for those working from home or running a solo business. For children, it can help dreamy kids channel their imagination into creative expression. On a protective level, Moldavite is considered a shield against negative spirit enemies or entities, undesirable influences, and even weaknesses that lead to addiction. So yes, this stone is potent, but it's also practical in ways you might not expect. Why Moldavite is so expensive and controversial. Moldavite has gained massive attention in the past decade, especially on social media and platforms like TikTok. People started posting their Moldavite mayhem stories, buying Moldavite and then suddenly experiencing breakups, job losses, and big life upheavals. Part of this is Moldavite's reputation as a stone of rapid transformation, but part of it is also the hype cycle. The more dramatic the story, the more the stone's legend grew, and then prices followed. Moldavite is only found in a single region of the Czech Republic. Supplies are finite and diminishing. A small piece that once cost $20 now sells for over 100. Larger pieces or jewelry grade Moldavite can fetch thousands. I mean, like I said, that tiny little piece at that shop was like over $600. Crazy. This has led to a huge market of fakes, especially from China and Thailand. Many of these are just green glass melted and etched to look authentic. So if you're drawn to Moldavite, be very careful where you buy it. Look for reputable sellers who can provide provenance. The controversy really comes down to this. Moldavite changes lives, but not always in ways people expect. It's not a gentle love and light stone. It's more like a meteorite smashing into your life. And sometimes that's exactly what we need to break free. If I were to connect Moldavite with a tarot card, it would be the Tower, obviously. Here's a picture of the Tower card from the Modern Witches Tarot deck. The Tower is sudden change, upheaval, and like the crumbling of false structures so that something truer can emerge. Moldavite embodies that same chaotic but transformative energy. So on this particular card, we have the Tower, which is the building, and then there's fire coming out of the windows, and there's people falling out of the building, and then there's like these shards of like glass or crystal or something, and someone's actually impaled. It looks very ominous. There's lightning striking, there's a storm. It's like crazy, right? So I think that's probably why people are scared to work with Moldavite. It kind of makes sense. Here's a simple spooky season ritual with Moldavite if you have a piece, or maybe you don't have a piece, but you could visualize a piece. I don't know. You want to sit in a quiet space with your Moldavite and a grounding stone like smoky quartz or black tourmaline. Place the Moldavite on your third eye, which is kind of right here in your middle of your forehead, or hold it in your hand and ask, what structures in my life need to fall so that I can grow? And then you can pull a tarot card, a different card, and see what insight comes through. And then just journal whatever arises. This ritual combines Moldavite's raw, transformative power with the symbolic clarity of tarot and helps you direct the energy rather than being blindsided by it. I also wanted to read a little bit from this book called, it's an oracle deck. It's a crystal oracle deck called The Crystal Spirits Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And here's a picture, sort of Moldavite, the spirit of Moldavite. If you've never seen Moldavite, this is kind of what it looks like. Let's see here. What does it say? Okay, so I'm just going to read a little bit of what it says in the book here. Essential meaning: transformation, rebirth through fire, initiation, and opening to new experiences, revitalization, and renewal. New doors open and you cross the threshold. It can be exhilarating to know that you are stepping out of the old and into a new self, ready for the unexpected gifts that come with this initiation. Moldavite Spirit's message is to know that as you walk through an open door, you are being reborn in a sense, for you will be different once you have made a conscious choice to say goodbye to what was. Rebirth always involves tension and struggle. Crystals can only form if there is plenty of pressure to change. If you are frustrated or uncomfortable, know that relief is on the way, so just focus on what is happening as a better tomorrow begins to reveal itself. Your passage into the new is assured, so be present, be open, be ready for healing to take place. This new experience requires a new you, in a sense, a you that recognizes that you belong here, that you truly can let go of the old. You are so loved, and the conscious universe is so proud of you. And I just really thought that was beautiful, and it really summed up the message of Moldavite. So, is Moldavite spooky? Absolutely. Is it powerful? Without a question. Is it for everyone? Definitely not. But that's what makes Moldavite so compelling. It carries the energy of a meteor strike, the myth of the Holy Grail, the weight of ancient folklore, and the mystery of the cosmos. It's a stone of endings and beginnings, of chaos and creation. And in this season, when the veil is thin, when transformation is in the air, Moldavite is the perfect reminder that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from the biggest disruptions. So if you're brave enough, invite Moldavite into your practice. But remember, it doesn't promise comfort. It promises change. And change, my friends, is the truest kind of magic. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Crystal Library on Big Crystal Energy Podcast. Until next time, stay spooky, stay magical, and stay open to transformation. Bye.
Thank you for visiting the Crystal Library. I hope today's stone offered just the magic you needed. If you loved this episode, share it with your favorite mystic and tag me on Instagram at mystical.mama.ash or at Big Crystal Energy Podcast. And if you're feeling generous, leave a 5-star rating and review. It helps this magic reach more curious souls. Until next time, keep your crystals close and your intuition closer.